courage isn't about being fearless. It's about being seen, being heard for who you truly are. So one of the things I talked about in the last episode was the prove it guy and the superhuman guy. I used to teach from that perspective. I used to teach that you can be and do whatever you want in life. You can actually feel superhuman. One of the downsides of doing that was that most of the time I felt fucking superhuman. I felt that I could do anything. I'd run through a fucking wall. I just felt awesome. But there were times where that would dip, especially as shit happens in life, as happens in everyone's life. But because I was living the superhuman lifestyle, the prove it guy lifestyle, I didn't really feel that I could be open with people and be vulnerable with people. And like the people closest to me, like my brother and sister, for example, they used to always talk about how when I would do content, I'd ask them for feedback and they'd always say, it doesn't feel like you. It feels like, I know you have to elevate a wee bit. Like the podcast good because I can just sit here and chat. But when you're doing like short reel stuff, you have to elevate a wee bit and be a wee bit more boisterous and be like, hey guys, I'm this guy. Not that bad, don't go that far. But you have to like elevate a bit. Like even when I'm sitting here, I'm still talking a bit clearer because my audience is diverse and sometimes the accent loses people. So when I used to talk to them, they would say like the only thing really missing is your personality, your humor, who you are. And I'm not going to try to force my personality or force my humor, but I'm just going to be myself, be authentic. And that's where courage comes in. Courage comes in when, if you're watching this and then you're going, fuck, you've been vulnerable while I'm out, then you're not my people. You're not someone I need or want to be around. Whereas when you're open to being vulnerable, and again, I've had these conversations before where people are afraid to be vulnerable because what if you're vulnerable and people leave? Well, those people that leave weren't there for you anyway. They were there for the persona of you or there for their own gain or whatever it is. Like there's a few times that I have opened up and been vulnerable, and because these people believed in the prove it guy or the superhuman version, the vulnerability just did not fit their narrative, so they ended up just leaving. When that happens, part of you wants to chase them, wants to find out why. Like, why did you go? What did I do? What can I do to keep you here? But thankfully, the bit that I actually listen to is the bit that goes, well, they obviously weren't for you, so it doesn't really matter. So when you are willing to be yourself, this is where courage comes in. And again, courage is one of the pillars of the warrior path. Whenever you're willing to be yourself, and for myself, when I spoke to the right people, like my family and close friends, when I spoke to them, 90% of them understood. Most of them had no fucking idea that some of the shit I was going through because I didn't let them. I didn't show it. I wore my superhuman fucking suit all the time. So some people are shocked when they have it, but the right people are shocked and then are comforting or accepting. The wrong people are shocked and then they fuck off. But again, they fucked off. They're not the right people, so that shouldn't matter. No matter how long they've been in your life, it shouldn't matter to you. You will, even when doing the superhuman thing, I wasn't like invulnerable all the time. There was times where I dipped, but I bounced back really fast. So there's still times when people leave where you think, fuck, remember the amount of time you spent with them and you helped them, but that's just your ego coming in then. I treat everybody how I would like to be treated. So if you treat me like shit, I'm just not going to spend any time with you. But if I do have to interact with you, I'm still going to interact with you how I would want to be interacted with. I'm not going to think you treated me like shit, so I'm going to treat you like shit. That's not who I am. So whenever you're looking at your courage and you think about it, that fear is your gate. It's not your enemy. The fear, things that you fear vulnerability, fear showing who you are, fear starting your own business, quitting your job, quitting your relationship, getting a new job, asking someone out, whatever it is that you fear, that's not your enemy, that's your gate. And when you walk through that, the universe just opens up to you. The more you walk through fear, the less fear has control over you. So if you overcome your fear in one area, it doesn't just stick to one area. So as an easy example, when I learned magic, I learned how to perform for people. But in doing that, I learned how to interact with people. I started learning a lot about communication. I started learning how to speak to strangers without being a weirdo. So I didn't just keep that in my wee magic box. I took that into all my life. So if I go out to any environment, I can immediately make like party friends or like meeting friends because I can interact with people. I understand communication. I understand how to approach people and be welcoming rather than being a weirdo. I work in bars a lot. You see a lot of weirdos approaching people. And you see a lot of nice people approaching people and seeming like weirdos because they don't fucking know how to approach people. So when you walk through the fear, every time you overcome something, it builds you, it makes you stronger, gives you more courage, self-belief, confidence. So the next thing that you're afraid of, you're going in there as a stronger person. But if you have, for an easy example, you have 3 fears. When you overcome one, it weakens these 2 because you're proving to yourself that fuck, I am capable. So fear is your gate, not your enemy. And every time you avoid the thing, it grows. Every time you face it, you grow. So I've just wrote a few wee pointers down here just to remind me. But when you go through the notes, if you just want to look at these again. So I've wrote here, the warrior doesn't wait to be fearless. He steps with fear in his chest. If you wait till you've already overcome the thing, or you just wait till you've no fucking choice, like people going to the dentist, put it off until they have pain in their mouth and then they've no choice, they have to go. That's not overcoming the fear, that's just doing it because you have to do it. And your mindset, even though you've done it, you'll still be thinking, I know, but I was afraid. I only did it because my mouth was fucking killing me, or I only flew because I had to go to the wedding. You choose, either you choose to do it or you don't. If I have to go somewhere I don't want to go to or I'm afraid of going to, that's not the same as if I decide, or I'm afraid of that, I'm going to challenge it. So sparring, for example, I used to just get in and spar everyone, especially people I was afraid of. So then the more I sparred, the less I was afraid of, until you just spar anyone because it doesn't matter anymore. What you actually discover is you should be more afraid of the new people than the people who've been doing it the longest, because the people doing the longest can like control what they're doing and like tap you rather than hit you. Whereas new scared people with adrenaline going through the roof fucking be swinging haymakers, so you really have to avoid it. So overcoming that fear can teach you a lot about the thing you were actually afraid of in the first place. So the action that I would like you to do this week is the age call. So do one thing this week that makes your chest tighten, that makes you go, fuck. Right. Like, do that. Just, it could be anything. Post a thing, say the truth, make the call. Like, you don't have to pick something mental, fucking fly to Egypt, Australia. You don't have to do something crazy. It can just be something that's just enough for you to go, right, let's go. And then just sit with it and just see how you feel. Like, sit with when you've done it. What does it feel like? How do you feel accomplished? Like, this is something I struggled with a lot. When I started to get back into the world after like looking after my dad and after closing myself off and actually developing a bit of travel anxiety, like distance from my house anxiety, or traveling, whatever the fuck you'd want to call it. But basically, because I used to have to get back very quickly to the house and check on my dad a lot, I developed a like, fuck, what if I can't get to my car? What if I get stuck in traffic? What if? So then when I started to overcome that and started to do more and more things, I had this conversation recently on a walk, I wasn't allowing myself to feel everything. I was sort of looking at like, fucking whoop-de-doo, you walked for 1 kilometer away from your house, you're the fucking man. And I was sort of looking at it like my past Liam would have just done that, so it didn't matter, rather than Liam now that's been through some shit some more shit and needs to reevaluate and regrow. So I actually forced myself to sit. I was like, well, how does it actually feel that like you overcome something today? You made effort and did a thing you were nervous and that was challenging for you to do. How does that feel? And then I was able to check in with myself and actually feel the pride in doing it, allowing myself to be prideful for something that to most people would seem very minimal. So being prideful for that and then feeling like I succeeded. So it doesn't have to be anything mental. It can be something just very simple, but just do something. Just do something. Something that you have been putting off or that you're afraid to do. And then again, reach out to me, let me know what it is if you want. If you do something cool and you want to tag me on social media, then tag me on it as well. So fear is not the enemy. Courage, fear will create courage whenever you overcome it. So thanks for listening. Have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.